I've lived in St. Augustine for over 7 years now, and I can tell you, this is not the same quiet little beach town it used to be. Some of the changes have been amazing, and some of them honestly make me wonder where this city is headed. And that's why people who move here either absolutely fall in love or end up wishing they knew a few things before they packed the moving truck. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain and giving you the truth about what it's really like living in St. Augustine. The good, the beaches, the lifestyle, the community that make people stay for decades. The bad, the stuff tourists never see, like the traffic, insurance, and growing pains. And the ugly, the overdevelopment, the long-term issues that locals quietly talk about. And then I'll share which parts of St. Augustine might actually fit your lifestyle and which ones you might want to avoid. I'm Amy Howell, a local realtor here in St. Augustine. My husband Justin and I own O.N.E Florida Group, and together with our incredible team, we have helped hundreds of families relocate, buy, sell, and put down roots all over Northeast Florida. We live this every day: school drop-offs, beach days, hurricane prep, the whole thing. So nothing I'm sharing is from a postcard or a brochure. Let's start with the good. What draws people to this area in the first place and has them falling in love? The obvious: coastal lifestyle. Here, daily life really does revolve around the water. Beach walks, paddleboarding, fishing, surfing, boating, and not just in the summer. Locals are at the beach year-round. You can catch a sunrise beach session before starting your day and end up back in the sand for the sunset as well. It's close. The weather is beautiful, and the beaches are not full, so you can really enjoy the view. We also don't have high-rises stacked on top of each other. A lot of the coastline still feels like old Florida. Low-key, laid back, and a little bit salty in the best way. The pace is just slower. People actually wave at you in parking lots, chat in the farmers markets, and remember your dog's name. For a place that gets millions of visitors, St. Augustine still has this crazy, strong, small town feel. You see the same faces at school events, PTA meetings, sports fields, in downtown festivals. It starts to feel like everybody's connected by 1 or 2 degrees. My kids always joke around that I'm famous because they can't take me anywhere without me bumping into someone I know and chatting with them. You really do have this sense of community here. I had buyers in from out of town who were driving around the area, and they stopped into Costco while they were here. They instantly wanted to move here after that Costco visit because everyone was so nice, smiling and polite and just overall happy. And then there's the scenery. You've got the ocean on one side, the river and marshes on the other, so you're literally always a few minutes from water. Sunrise culture is real here. People plan their day around catching that first light or sneaking out for the sunset over the marsh. There are so many spots beyond the main touristy beaches, quieter stretches like Crescent Beach or Butler, and trails around Guana, the little hidden kayak launches along the Matanzas. And then, where else can you grab coffee in a 450-year-old city? Walk past the Spanish Fort and then drive back to a master plan community with resort-style pools and pickleball courts. We've got brick streets and Flagler College, historic homes, and at the same time, places like SilverLeaf, Shearwater, and Nocatee that give you all the modern amenities. So quick question for you. Are you more of a historic and downtown charm person or a newer suburban community with all the amenities person? Drop it in the comments so I know what kind of videos to make more of. Let's talk about the not so fun stuff. St. Augustine is not a secret anymore, and the cost of living reflects that. Home prices have jumped a lot over the last decade, especially in the most popular areas. Beachside and certain master plan communities can easily be in that mid to upper price range, and insurance is a whole nother line item. I was just at a listing appointment and had the realization that this particular home was the same same price as what I paid when we moved here just over 7 years ago. And let's say the location and the product were night and day. And then to top that off, new construction is everywhere. It's good in some ways, more options, more amenities, but roads, schools, and infrastructure are doing their best to keep up. But in the meantime, we're all feeling the growing pains and seeing our surroundings just constantly in motion. With growth comes traffic. Downtown on a Saturday in season, you're going to feel it. The Bridge of Lions, King Street, A1A, they can all back up, especially during the events like Nights of Lights. It's just a known fact that none of us locals go down there during this time of year unless we have family in town and they want to see it, to which we cringe knowing what we're about to deal with. Is it worth it though? I mean, yes, it's beautiful. It's a great experience for anyone who has not been, but we do tend to avoid it at all costs if possible. Tourism is amazing for local businesses, but it does change how you go about everyday life if you're in that area. Another negative, because we're a coastal city, flooding, storms, it's always part of the conversation. Certain low-lying neighborhoods flood more easily. Hurricanes in past years have left a big mark, and insurance companies have definitely tightened things up. A lot of locals invest in things like raised homes, flood vents, French drains, and mentally preparing each year when a hurricane season starts. Most agents won't even think to bring up some of those big expenses, but it really does matter. If you're watching all of this and thinking, okay, how do I even budget for this? Or how do I even know which area to buy in? We broke it all down in our free buyer guide. Give it a download. You can scan this QR code, and also I'll link it in the description. It breaks down the big things that you'll want to factor in before you move. Now, let's get to the part about the long-time locals and what we talk about quietly. Overdevelopment. If you drive along 210, 312, or west of I-95, it can feel like non-stop new neighborhoods. Beautiful homes, yes, but it puts a lot of pressure on the roads, schools, and drainage. I remember when we first moved here, which in the grand scheme of things, 7 years isn't that long ago. And this entire area, both our neighborhood and the surrounding areas, look completely different now. A lot of people worry that if we're not careful, we can chip away at all that old Florida charm that makes this place special to begin with. And I know certainly I don't want to see that happen. So flood zones and drainage, another huge topic. Maps change, premiums change, and after a few heavy storms, you learn exactly which streets turn into rivers for hours. I shared this story in another video, but I think it's worth sharing again here, and just because this was an unforgettable experience. I was out touring with buyers in true Florida nature. It started downpouring on us out of nowhere. We were headed to take a look at a property that was not in any way in a flood zone, but we couldn't even get to the home because there was so much flooding in the street. Needless to say, the buyers didn't purchase that house. But what can be done about heavy amounts of rains? French drains, sump pumps, raised landscaping. It's definitely something you have to think about if you're buying here, especially in certain neighborhoods. And then of course, there's the job market. Tourism and service industries are a big part of the local economy, and wages don't always keep up with the raising house costs. Remote workers and people bringing in higher out-of-state salaries have more flexibility, but for some locals, that gap is real. A lot of locals feel downright stuck. They might have some good equity in their home, but not enough to make a dent in the much higher home prices that they're faced with now. I remember when I helped clients who honestly have now just become like family build my absolute dream home. Mastercraft build on a water lot with preserve behind it, you get the best of both worlds, on a cul-de-sac street, hardwood flooring, screened-in pool. Basically, they got a replica of the model home that everyone, not just me, was obsessed with. What they paid for that home with all the bells and whistles is what several years later I ended up paying for in my current home, which is not a Mastercraft, nowhere close. It does not have real hardwoods or a pool or that kind of lot. So that was a very, very, very hard pill to swallow, and something a lot of locals are facing that they've been here long enough to see the changes. I always say it is never early to start the home buying process because you can become really keen on what the pricing trends are in which communities and which areas you can get more bang for your buck in for similar style homes. Download our home search app. Inside it, we have completely 360-degree tours of entire communities. Nobody else has that. As well as our neighborhood match tour and so many other resources which we created to help make the home search process so much easier. You can also chat with me right there in the app, and it is actually me in there, so please say hi. I would love to hear from you. So with all that in mind, where do people actually love living and which pockets fit different lifestyles? If you want true beach life, walkability, all that jazz, you're probably looking at St. Augustine Beach, which has laid back surf town energy, walkable. Volcano Beach, quieter, more local feel, super quick hop to downtown. Anastasia Island, a really nice blend of beach lifestyle and easy access to downtown. Our family loves Anastasia State Park on Anastasia Island. The sand is so soft and the island vibe is definitely there, and it's not in all the hustle and bustle of things. So these areas can lean more lifestyle first, which means you pay a little more for that salt air convenience. If you're more focused on schools, space, and amenities, you're probably going to like the more suburban side. Places like Nocatee, SilverLeaf, World Golf Village, Shearwater, and other St. Johns County master plan communities. You get newer homes, resort-style amenities, trails, community events, all the things that make daily family life easier. And if charm and history are your thing, the historic core, Lincolnville and Uptown, North City, those are all incredibly unique. Think older homes, tons of character, brick streets, and that feeling that you're living inside the city's story. Super, super cool and unique to live in, completely immersed in all that history. It's just so exciting to me. And then there's the quieter, more scenic pockets like Crescent Beach, Palencia, some areas headed towards Elkton, where you can get more breathing room and that tucked away kind of feeling while still being connected to everything. So here's my honest verdict after living here for years and helping families move in and out of St. Augustine. The city is not perfect. We've got growing pains, insurance headaches, traffic, and real concerns about overdevelopment. But if you're looking for a place that still values community, outdoor living, history, that old Florida feel, and you're okay trading a little convenience and predictability for that, St. Augustine is pretty hard to beat. For our military family, we planted our roots here because of the people. Everyone was so incredibly down to earth, kind, and community oriented. We knew we wanted to raise our children surrounded by these kinds of people. If St. Augustine sounds like it might be the right fit for you, the best next step is simple. Use the link in the description to schedule a quick call with me. We'll talk through your timeline, your budget, your lifestyle, and I will be completely honest with you about whether this area makes sense and which pockets you should actually be focused on. And if you're still in research mode, that's okay too. Download our home search app and start familiarizing yourself with the price points and the varying areas. And that's all for this one. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Again, I'm Amy Howell, owner of O.N.E Florida Group, and I will see you in the next video.